what was it that made you get in touch with Springup PR in the first place?
Well, we had an objective here at Broughton House. We had a 64 bed new care home. We had less than half of it occupied, and it was not, as I said, a revenue. We had a revenue deficit, and
Right.
we needed to get residents into our care home. We really needed to accelerate that. Otherwise, we weren't going to have a sustainable home. And our marketing, we actually had no marketing. I think because the care home had we had an old care home, we were a new build. Effectively, marketing had stopped for 5 years because the care home had to reduce from 50 residents to 32 to move into the new home. And so they just stopped marketing. Nobody really then thought of, that's phase one. And when phase two comes along a year later, when we have 64, how are we going to do that? And so there was not really any thought. We'd lost the skill, no thought about the planning in advance. And so we were in a position when we contacted yourselves, is that we were actually running to catch up with ourselves. We were behind the curve. And one of our board of trustees had worked with you guys before when he was working in care, running care homes himself, and had said, you'd done well for him and you had a good reputation, and that's how we came to talk to you.
Oh, I see. Great. If I remember correctly, we had a diagnostics with you. I don't know if you remember that, Karen.
Yes, yes.
Tell me about what that diagnostics was like for you. How did you experience that?
Well, I think bearing in mind we had no in-house expertise in terms of marketing and all, so it was a little bit daunting for us. But I think I would have to say, a year on, I can't really recall it, and that's a good thing. That means it wasn't traumatic, it wasn't difficult. So from that perspective, in terms of actually doing what we needed to do for you and inputting things, it was actually an easy process, because I would remember it if it wasn't.
Good.
But I think coming back, what was really good, I do recall that the quick turnaround, because we were running against the clock, the quick turnaround, you've been very clear of what was required. It was delivered in a very easy way. I think sometimes my previous experience with marketing is it can get all very technical and that. But for us as an organisation who were real novices into this market, I think there was a lot of hand holding, which was very much welcomed. It was done, and we were never made to feel that we were useless, ignorant, or didn't know what we were talking about. It was very supportive, and I think that was part of the reason that we chose to go with you guys.
Yeah, and the plan is very much focused on digital marketing, Google pay-per-click, Facebook ads. Tell me how that's been for you.
Again, just to put it in perspective, we weren't, when I first came and took over, we weren't even registered with carehome.co.uk. There was no Facebook, there was no Google. We were not engaged in any of the digital platforms at all. And so, we were really, it was from a standing start. And yet, it was a real smooth transition into that area, and and very quickly we're going to see it paying dividends. We've got one in-house marketing person which you've worked with, a digital marketer, and again very supportive, very communicative with them. So again, they found it was something that they really welcomed the support and saw that as as just really, really supportive.
Yeah, great. Thank you, Karen. And would you recommend us to any other care providers?
Absolutely. We would. It has, working with you guys has been transformative for us. It really has. And I think what has been great is the engagement with your team, every one of your team. And they do feel as if, I know you have a number of clients, but it does feel that you're just working exclusively for us, and you know us, and you know us well. And I think that really, when we don't have a marketing department, that's really, really important. And even our front of house, the whole team, you are like, the department that's working remotely. And I think is quite an achievement for your organization, for us to feel like that about you.
Great. Thank you very much, Karen.